All right, ladies and gentlemen, so I did a video talking about the box office numbers for Disney's Wish. And of course, I have to make a video kind of finalizing the overarching story regarding the Marvels. Now, the Marvels, this will probably be the last video that I make on the Marvels, just because I want to showcase just the fall, man. The fall of this movie is so unbelievably legendary that we just can't make one last final video. Like, we have to, right? Like, we have to talk about it and go over the numbers and see exactly just how bad this movie is doing and just how bad it's going to end. So let's get into this video, guys. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into the YouTube algorithm. So, The Marvels, ladies and gentlemen, the worst performing movie in MCU history. Currently sitting at a worldwide gross of $188 million. I want to be very clear about something. This movie, an MCU film, okay, with a nearly $300 million budget, only did $77 million domestically, and it's been out for almost 20 some odd days now. This movie is such a fail. I honestly, I don't think there's words in the English dictionary to be able to explain just how big of a fail this movie is. This movie came out in 4,030 theaters, right? After 11 or 12 days, it was dropped by 1,000 theaters, ladies and gentlemen. After literally 12 days, it was dropped. They were like, yeah, we're done. We already can tell the writing's on the wall. We're not even going to bother. We're just going to take our losses and move on. 1,000 theaters dropped this film. Insane number. And the funny thing is, this film actually got more support internationally than it did domestically. It is, so far, it's at $110 million internationally. But let's talk about how much money it's going to lose before we go into the daily figures. So let's be very clear. This movie has an almost $300 million budget, okay? $300 million budget doesn't even include the marketing for the film. And this film got a lot of marketing, especially towards the last couple of weeks before the movie came out. I'm not even going to factor in marketing when I'm talking about their loss, because I don't even have to. This film at a $300 million budget means that on average, you have to make about $550 to $600 million in the box office in order to even break even just on your budget. They're at 188 million people, $188 million. They are going to bomb so unbelievably bad that I think this is truly legendary. I do. I don't know of anything that has bombed this hard in a long time, but this movie and the movie Wish is going to lose Disney easily, just from two movies alone, over $700 million. It is an insane number. Just think about losing $700 million just from making two mistakes. That's it. I don't even want to call it a mistake, because they knew exactly what the fuck they were doing. But still, $700 million just from two projects. My God. Now, it makes you wonder that this is why Bob Iger is trying to change course. Like I said in my Wish video, Bob Iger has admitted that it's time to change course, but you're just not going to be able to. You are not going to be able to change course. You sold yourself to the devil, and you basically have to lay in it. So now we're going to look at the daily numbers. This is the important thing, because again, I want you guys to realize something. This film started out at 4,030 theaters, okay? And it basically dropped after 12 some odd days to 3,070 theaters. It dropped by 1,000 theaters on average, a little bit under 1,000 theaters. That is crazy to happen in basically just a week and a half, almost 2 weeks. Insane numbers. And you can see that this film did 21 million on the first day, 15 million on the second, and then it trickled down so hard that it never recovered. Did 9 million on the third day, then 2, then 3, then 1, then 2, then 1, 1, 1, 1, 2. It just, and now it has such bad legs that it's only making $300,000 in a day. $300,000 in a day on a Captain Marvel movie, an MCU film. You gotta imagine, man. This is so painful. I really don't know what else to say other than, wow, this is a massive bomb. A massive bomb. $700 million between these two films. Now, keep in mind, when you now factor in the budget, For the Marvels, let's factor in the budget. So $300 million budget, let's factor in the marketing, okay? Now you're going to talk about, let's say, I know a lot of people do double for marketing, but let's be real, probably wasn't double. But let's go with a $200 million number just to be conservative. Now you're at $500 million. Now you need $1 billion just to break even. This film is at $188 million. This film may very well lose Disney $700 million by itself, ladies and gentlemen, without even factoring in the movie Wish. That is crazy. I gotta imagine that Disney has to sit down, look at these numbers. If you're an investor of Disney, you gotta look at these numbers and say, what is going on? I would be asking so many questions to see all of these negatives, all of these figures in the red. This is clearly not a good sign. But again, they have sold themselves to the devil. They have sold themselves to the woke mob. And again, you can make woke movies, but you have to have small budgets. They are too divisive. They are too risky. If you're gonna make woke movies, have smaller budgets. That way you don't take as much of a risk. There's no reason why you should be having a girl boss movie that you know is not going to do well on a $300 million budget. There is absolutely no reason. 50 million, sure, you can rock with that. 300 million, that's crazy. There's no reason. Where did the money go? The money damn sure didn't go to costumes. The money damn sure didn't go to CGI. The money damn sure didn't go to the writing or the quality. Where did the money go? Because that is a crazy amount of money to spend on a movie like this. It just really is. And we can see that if you go and just look over, it is bad. It is really, really, really bad. Now, if you look at the actual reviews currently sitting right now, and again, these are magically filtered reviews by Rotten Tomatoes. They damn sure love doing that now because they want to keep the audience score looking as high as possibly possible. You have verified audience score of 83% with an all audience score of 70%. So think about how much filtering. That is 7,500 reviews that were filtered by minimum, because you have verified audience of 2,500 plus reviews and an all audience of 10,000 reviews. So it's very clear that they are filtering these reviews to try to maintain an 80% plus audience score, because 80% plus seems to be the number that Rotten Tomatoes tries to keep these movies at. Now, the critics is at 61%, with top critics at 43%. So most top rated critics just completely bombed this film, and all critics scored it at a 61%. Don't you think it's pretty interesting how with the critics, they use all critics as the initial metric, but with audience, they use verified and not all audience? If you were to do it side by side, that's how it should be, right? If you're going to have all critics to be the initial metric for critics, then you should have all audience be the initial metric for audience, right? With the chance of clicking verified and top critics. But they don't do that because it's all about showing the best number possible, because they have to maintain that access, baby. They are bought and paid for. So the critics have completely destroyed this film as expected, and the numbers don't lie. The Marvels is just completely god-awful, and I haven't seen a bomb like this in such a long, long time, which is crazy because, again, this is the same MCU that has a movie like The Eternals in it, and this movie is making The Eternals look like a box office master success. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.